She will be covering empowering board through women directorship. Sorry. I request Arpita ma'am to kindly introduce the ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon, everyone. On the occasion of second day of Navratri celebration, ICMA Arpita Fegde, coordinator for this program, welcome you all the energetic people here. I extend heartfelt gratitude to WRC team members, CMA Arindam sir, Mihir sir, Nanti sir, Chaitanya sir, and the entire WRC committee and our staff for arranging this wonderful session. So we are particularly grateful to our speaker, CMA Pradnya ma'am, for her invaluable presence. Welcome, ma'am. I thank you all the attendees for your presence and active participation. On day 2 of Navratri, the color to wear is green. The color symbolizes nature, growth, and bringing a sense of harmony, balance, and peace. It is believed to attract prosperity and abundance, fostering feelings of optimism. So let this shade inspire new blessings and renewal of life. Let us celebrate this day with heart full of hope and positivity today. So our special guest, CMA Pradnya ma'am, also a very good friend of mine from Nasik and the best supporter, I can say. So I surely can say she possesses all the qualities as I mentioned now. As practicing CMA, she is a woman icon for all the CMA practitioners. She has 30 years of industrial and professional experience. She is handling multiple areas with her expertise in fields of costing, finance, management consultancy, stock audit, GST, and many more. So she's also handled concurrent audits in J&K Bank. She's empaneled as peer reviewer for our CMA profession and as a fee regulatory authority for Maharashtra. She was a chairperson of Nasik chapter and she has taken hard efforts to bring the chapter in picture always. So she's arranged many conferences, and regional conference was a big event during her tenure. So she has conducted many good programs and she's also visiting faculty, a good corporate, well-known corporate trainers, speakers in various forums. The journey does not stop for her, but keep on hitting new peaks. Presently, she's a panel member of National Advisory Board of Women Entrepreneur Development Council initiated by SME Chamber of India. Recently, she's also appointed as an independent director of a company which is in process of listing. I would like to invite CMA Pradnya ma'am, who has traveled a journey of 30 years of CMA student to directorship and remain as a lighthouse for the fraternity. Let us join her and welcome the dynamic lady in our forum. I request ma'am to please take over the session. Thank you.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Good afternoon to my dear fellow cost and management accountants and today's August audience. Today I'm honored to speak to you about transformative journey and opportunity in the corporate world by empowering board through women directorship. I am thankful to WRC Chairman CMA Arindam and other office bearers CMA Mihir Vyas, CMA Nanti Shah, Chaitanya Mohorir, CMA Gauri Fadke Madam, and today's coordinator Arpita Fegde. Today we will talk about this woman directorship and empowering board through her presence in the boardroom. As we navigate the era where the focus of sustainability is paramount, we must recognize women play a crucial role in this transformative journey. As an independent directorship, she not only work as a woman, but also she can take up various opportunities as a professional development of her own as well as her own profession. Now, how to empower the board? This is a question because many times it is misunderstood that empowerment of women is required. But today's topic is very unique, that empowering the board through women presence. So one should not get confused with the topic. Yes, you are right that we are there to empower the board. Empowering board with greater women's participation is not only a matter of fairness, it's not the matter of equality, but also a strategic move that can drive innovation, improve governance, and enhance financial performance. Companies can create more opportunities for women to participate in board governance and ultimately leading to stronger and more resilient organization. This is the very underlying statement that it's not about the presence or it's not about the quota system of any woman, but it's about the empowering board and bringing that the change in the board. As you know that board of directors is considered as a brain of any organization. In the hierarchy or in the ladder, you can say board of directors are at the topmost of any organization. And don't you feel that it should be a gender neutral? So gender should not be a point while selecting any board of directors or talent, or you can say bringing any strategic participation in the board. There should not be any gender, either equality or I say that it should be completely neutral based on talent and brilliance. Before we jump into the exact role, exact challenges that today's women are facing, or in this journey of directorship, any woman will face, or as a professional, any one of you may face any challenges. Before jumping into that, we will just see what is the background of law or what is the statutory requirement why we are taking this topic as a discussion on this forum. So as some of you being into practice and profession, some of you may be aware that there are few provisions related to participation of women in the board as per the section 149 of the Companies Act 2013, as well as SEBI, LODR, that is Listing Obligation and Disclosure Requirement Regulation, requires what it requires. It requires that every listed company, at least one woman director should be present and on their board, thereby promoting this gender diversity. Don't misunderstood this as a gender equality, but it is understood by SEBI as well as Companies Act that there should be gender diversity. And this diversity is very, very important. And as you know that India is well known for diversity, and being an Indian, we must promote this diversity as well. This was a significant move to ensure that women are represented at the highest level of corporate governance. Today, we will restrict our discussion to the independent director. I'm not touching upon other areas as a woman director. Yes, of course, I will take those points. But basically, my focus will be being a professional, how you can enter into the world of directorship. So for entering into this world of directorship, we as a CA or CMA, as a company secretary, as a professional, we can enter as an independent director. So today's discussion, we will be focusing on independent directorship. Now, independent directors serve as an important institution of corporate governance. All of you have heard, understood, studied that is what is corporate governance. You know that ESG is becoming a buzzword of today's era. By this corporate governance, we can contribute significantly at the boards by bringing diverse set of skills as a independent judgment. Why this independence is required? We will discuss that how it is considered as an independent, but why this independence is required, because it should not be biased one. There must be independent judgment on every discussion, every issue that a corporate may face. Independent director need to act as a custodian of good governance. So the responsibility of independent director is very, very high. And you know that it's manifold because they are custodian of good governance. By discharging and monitoring the advisory role, effectively, an independent director will take his responsibility. They need to act in the best interest of the company, and as well as it should lead to best interest of all stakeholders. Now we will be discussing that being an independent director, what should be the criteria? Means there are, you know, that in board of director there are various positions, that is whole-time director, independent director, woman director, WID, that is woman independent director. So many categories are there. But for independent directorship, there are few criteria, key criteria we will be discussing today. There are 2-3 key criteria which we can underline. That is, who is or who was not a promoter of the company. If even though any independent director earlier being a promoter of that company or who is presently promoter of the company cannot become independent director. He or neither of his anyone should be a relative should be in the board. Means if you have any relatives as defined in the, of course, Companies Act, relative should not be there in your in the board. Then he cannot fulfill that criteria of being himself or declaring himself as a independent director. Who possesses such other qualities and qualification as may be prescribed. We'll see that what other qualities and qualifications are necessary, mandatory, expected from independent director. You know that IICA, that is Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, IIC has created a data bank. Many of you must have visited this. If not, please do visit this website. Those who are interested to travel through this journey of directorship or as a being professional, just to have awareness of this, you may be aware of Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, that is IICA, has created one data bank wherein all profiles of all eligible directors is kept in their data bank, and the company, those who wish to take independent director or any other director, can visit this site and take the required data from this institute. So me being explaining you the entire thing, that what is the criteria, how it's the journey, what are the qualifications and everything, better we will look at one video which is posted in the website of IICA. Before I share this video with you, I want to say about the disclaimer policy. Just hold on. If my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If a disclaimer policy is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not reading, but just claiming this disclaimer policy that whatever I'm sharing through this video or any images will not attract any copyright or intellectual property rights, and proper credit has been given wherever applicable. Is it audible and visible to every one of you?
Yes, ma'am. Not visible,
Empowering
ma'am.
businesses and protecting investors
Now?
is not just a motto, but a
Is it visible now?
Not visible, ma'am. It's audible, but not visible.
mission for Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Role played by independent directors on corporate
Is it
boards.
not visible?
No, ma'am. We can see
Okay,
just lane
listen.
and audio.
Just
Yeah.
listen. Still, it's good. There are a
Yeah.
few graphics, but you can listen.
Is pivotal to this mission. Independent directors should be seen as agents of change for good corporate governance. Independent directors are entrusted with the responsibility to hold highest standards of accountability, transparency, and safeguarding the interests of investors. To build their capacities, Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs is introducing a comprehensive online data bank for all existing and aspiring independent directors. This data bank draws its origin from companies' appointment and qualification of directors, Fifth Amendment Rules 2019 commencing from 1st December 2019. As per the rules, all existing independent directors need to empanel with this data bank within 3 months of commencement of these rules. They can apply through MCA-21 website using their valid DIN or PAN or passport number. After verifying their details, MCA-21 will redirect them to Databank website, wherein they can enter their profile information including personal, educational and professional information in this data bank. Some of the information will be auto-populated from MCA-21 database. After successful registration on the data bank, there are several benefits for those who are empaneled. This data bank will provide opportunities to learn, unlearn and relearn topics of corporate governance, professional ethics and regulatory framework through online e-learning courses delivered from an integrated learning management system or LMS. The LMS has an array of e-learning courses on board essential and board practice, such as business ethics, demystifying financial statements, regulatory frameworks, and compliances. These courses have practical orientation. Several industry experts and bodies have put their effort together to design these courses. Through online self-assessment test, they will be able to assess their competencies and expertise on various aspects of corporate governance. That's not all. The data bank will keep them abreast with updates on regulatory frameworks, compliances, procedures, best practices and case studies. The variety of resources in the form of newsletters, reports and research and publications will lead to continuous learning. A number of reputed institutions, industry chambers and professional bodies are partners in this initiative. Companies will also be able to register themselves via MCA-21 application using their corporate identity number. They will get access to a huge database of individuals willing and eligible for being appointed as independent directors. Companies will be able to search individuals based on their professional expertise, years of experience, industry domain, and many other criteria. After carrying out their own due diligence, companies may appoint them as independent directors on their board. The data bank will strengthen the institution of independent directors in India through professional development. This will help them discharging their role not just in letter but also in spirit of being the catalyst of good corporate governance.
So this was about IICA. Now, anyone is interested in taking up as a directorship, they have to pass a proficiency self-assessment test. Upon this registration at IICA portal, you have to pass that exam, which is online in nature. And that is a self-assessment test within a period of 1 year. Suppose you enrolled today, you have to get it passed within a period of 1 year from the date of inclusion of his name in the data bank. And still there is some exemption. Yes, there is an exemption from passing this proficiency test. For whom it is exemption is granted, that is those who have served not less than 10 years as a director or KMP in a listed public company. For them, there is an exemption from passing this proficiency test, or from unlisted public company having paid up share capital of 10 crores or more. So they are exempted. So this is one criteria of exemption, and one good news for all practicing cost accountants, practicing company secretary, and chartered accountants, that if you are into practice for more than 10 years, you are exempted from giving this proficiency test. So you can direct enroll and put your name in the data bank and grab the opportunities. Now, looking at the statistics of this directorship, as you know that in Bombay Stock Exchange, more than 5,000 companies are listed as on date in the year 2024. And on National Stock Exchange, more than 2,000 companies are listed. So India has emerged as a significant player in the global IPO market as well as in Indian market, capturing almost 25% of global IPO listing. So it's a huge market for all Indians and all professionals in the first half of 2024. So reflecting strong investor interest and market conditions. So this was about the statistics about the directors and companies, but being specifically as a woman independent director, almost as a general in women independent directors data bank, 14,500 have registered themselves as an ID for being selected over this data bank. And out of that, 2,965 are women independent directors. Now, if we see the global picture, that how women in directorship is offered globally, if you see the Norway country, they offer 40% as a reserve quota for women directors. And it is followed by France, Spain, Germany, and other European countries. Apart from that, European Union has also supported this inclusion of women into corporate boards. According to them, at least 40% of the non-executive director position must be held by women directors. Many countries have introduced policies requiring companies to disclose their board with diversity. Means a disclosure requirement is there, as you know that LODR or other through their annual report, they have to disclose this diversity and giving a gender representation. Companies must disclose their board, the composition in the annual report, including detailed number of women directors. And this is not only a regulatory push, I can say, this is a required tool for shareholders and public to hold companies accountable. You know that women are well known for their sincerity and accountability. So what is the opportunity for women? As of 2023, several companies have been identified as a lacking in the woman or in their board of directors. Means even I have Googled, there are so many companies wherein it is a mandatory requirement to appoint a woman director, but still they have yet to appoint. I'm not talking about the independent director, I'm talking about the woman director. This issue is prevalent across various sectors. Research indicating women hold only 23% of the board globally. Means almost in many countries 40% is the expected figure, but globally only 23% women represent. Now you will ask me that why globally as well as in our country this drive has been taken by the government, SEBI, under Companies Act, LODR, or various regulatory and statutory requirements. So there must be some special qualities or must be some special things in women that they have recognized that women participation is very, very important. Just we will touch upon why it is required in this global as well as local field. As you know that women board members are often strong advocates. They do business practices very ethically. They're driving the transparency, accountability, they are responsible in various decision making. This can lead to improved corporate governance and reduction in the risk related unethical practices. Apart from that, women leaders often adopt holistic approach in the boardroom. This holistic approach is very, very required in while taking any decision on any particular issue. Because of women bring slightly different or unique perspective. You know that women have some qualities which are very unique apart from other gender, and discussions on they can bring different perspective to on the table of discussion in the boardroom. They can have various life experiences with them, which they can use their expertise and experiences in the boardroom. And all of you will agree with me that women have some different instinct, some intuitive power is there. So we can bring that power to the boardroom. One more quality of all women that they have very good collaboration and networking. This will also lead to have contacts and various collaborative areas that will open for the company. As you know that they are not always kinder or gentler, but sometimes they show their roop as Ma Durga or Durga Avatar, you can say. And that is very, very needed when few disciplinary areas are challenging. So at that time, women should grow and show her Ma Durga Avatar as well. And even men directors globally feel that this gender diversity avoids a single group thinking in a one direction. But whenever there is any woman or number of women, the direction of the group thinking will be little different. The test will be different, the choices will be different, and this entire thing will bring risk-free corporate governance. Apart from that, you know that many women has worked as a role model for their next generation. Yesterday only we have invited Aarti Madam of who is a CFO of Saraswat Bank. You know that she explicitly expressed her opinion that my daughter is looking me as a role model. So it's a responsibility on all of us that we must work in the direction as a role model for our next generation. And according to study of Peterson Institute of International Economics, having more women in the senior position can create cycles of empowerment. This is required. Just myself, I am getting empowered and I'm keeping all my power and expertise and knowledge and experience with me. Will it be helpful to others? No. So we have to create these cycles of empowerment and then only transform this corporate landscape. You know that nowadays corporate social responsibility is a buzzword in the corporate world, and statutory requirements are also there. So women can bring that CSR initiatives when they are as a part of board. They can better address sustainability issues. Women participation on board helps companies to focus on sustainability practices also. Balancing the profitability, how they can bring the profitability in the business, that area we can very well take up. Then social and environmental responsibilities are very well taken by women. You know that we as a woman always like the culture. So we can bring that cultural change in the organization. We are expert in attracting the talent in the company. But story doesn't end here. So this is a very good side that we are looking as a woman director. But challenges and responsibilities always come with the authority. So there are various challenges and various responsibilities that a woman director should hold. Since you know that there are various societal barriers and limited pool of women in the senior management position. Suppose any company is really interested in recruiting or appointing any woman director on their board. If that much talent or experience or expertise is available in the market, that is also a question mark. We few professionals might have that talent and expertise, but not all. So this is there may be a shortage or limited pool of women. Apart from that, there are so many societal barriers. Then there are gender biases because of the growth of women can hinder in the advancement of corporate leadership. So this cultural shift is required within the organization. So I will guide to my fellow women members that what strategies we need to follow for increasing women participation, and this will be strategy for corporates also, not restricted to women as only one gender. What we can do, that is very important, that there are so many challenges, but how to overcome this risk factor and challenges, that we must get some support from all stakeholders and society as a general. We must be given some mentorship. Few programs are conducted as a startup wind by Bangalore University, or globally also there are so many initiatives are conducted to give sponsorship, mentorship to the women and girls so that they will come up as a independent and educated person. Organization need to invest in mentorship and leadership of development of the programs so that many women will take up these positions. Then training and development is required, and over and above this, succession planning is required. What is meant by succession planning here? Here specifically, it's not succession about the, you can say, just giving a next generation by your natural succession. But suppose I am a woman director in a company for 5 years. Then maybe another 5 years I may be allowed by having fulfilling some criteria. But as a succession planning, I should take a retirement in that particular position and give opportunities to my fellow members so that they will bring some new perspective in the boardroom. One should not be stick to their position and chair for decades. So this gender diversity is just a moral imperative, and it's not a business one. Research shows that diverse team lead better decision making and unique perspectives in strategic thinking, particularly in the sustainability efforts. So you know that there are ESG standards, which is also globally it is a discussed, it is a topmost discussed buzzword. Now you will say that these are all areas we have understood, we have heard about your profile, but before I conclude on this particular topic, I want to just acknowledge my profession in this, my journey, in this journey of entire profession. Almost 3 decades I am with this profession, in this profession, and through this profession. Especially during my practice, I have touched and visited various industries, understood their various manufacturing processes, service industries. I have worked for many PSUs as a cost auditor, listed companies, private companies, SMEs, various small scale industries, and worked almost from all type of variety of industries. So I want to acknowledge my profession for this. And being into job as in the service, as well as into academia, as well as in practice, I can say that I have created a wide base for this pyramid. You see the position that any lady or anyone in their corporate growth are getting at the top, but for that they have to have built a good base for that pyramid. So it's better to have number of experiences, gather various positions, grab the various opportunities, don't always see the remuneration and remunerative part and financial what you are getting on a commercial side, but embrace that particular job, take a responsible decisions, then your further growth and future growth is not a challenge, but it will be not a cakewalk, but it will be a very enjoyable journey, I can say. And if we bring this change in the entire society and entire board, then I am hopeful that coming generation of ours will see that our daughter is leading to any global board of directors, or she has been positioned as one of the topmost woman director in any company. So isn't that will be a very proud moment for all of us? Before I conclude, I want to just say name of few lady who remain as an icon in this directorship. As popularly all of us know, that is Sudha Murthy. One is Mary Barra, who is a CEO of General Motors. Barra's vision exemplifies that how women can influence a steer and sustainability initiative from the top. And one more icon, as a lady icon, I will say, want to discuss with you. She is a Sheryl Sandberg. She is an American technology executive, philanthropist, and writer. Sandberg served as a COO, that is Chief Operating Officer of Meta or Facebook platform. You know that she is often known as a Facebook's number 2 after Zuckerberg. So don't you consider that woman as a quota, but consider woman as a matured person, as an adult in a boardroom. Don't think that they are just by a statute, it is a given at one, what you can say, one position or one chair to them in the boardroom, but consider them as a transformative engine or engine for a change. So I would like to conclude my today's discussion on this women directorship by sharing one thought of Sheryl Sandberg in her double inverted comma. I will say, we cannot change what we are not aware of. And once we are aware, we cannot help but change. Now you will understand. That why WRC has taken a correct topic, that it's not about empowering women, but it's about the empowering board through women directorship. So this is all from my side, and this session is open now for question and answer. Thank you all. Gauri ma'am, is there any question answer in chat box?
Let me check, ma'am. 1 moment. No questions, ma'am.
So anyone upfront want to ask or discuss any particular point?
I guess there are no questions, ma'am.
Okay. So with
Yeah.
concluding remarks.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you very much for your wonderful session. And always you are with us for any webinar. Whenever I called you, you always say yes. So thank you very much from bottom of my heart for this session. And it's a wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you. And
Thank you.
finally, I conclude the session. Thank you, ma'am.